This is Joanna Varnum, and this is my assignment for week 2. For this assignment, I was focusing on health literacy. Identify the specific grade for your lesson. This lesson will be directed for kindergartners. Identify the specific academic class. This lesson could be used in a library class or special. It'll help them discover the library layout, see what the difference between nonfiction and fiction books are, and how they can be used to learn about a topic. Identify the specific literacy you are teaching. Define it. How does this literacy fit with the academic class? This will be a health literacy, but focusing on oral care and teeth brushing for young children. This is kind of a means to an end. Sure, the children will learn the practical task of why it's important to brush your teeth twice a day and what cavities are, but because we will be using fiction and nonfiction books to talk about this subject, they'll start understanding the difference between those two types of books, as well as where they can be found in the library, and it will also start them to understand how they can engage with a topic through resources found in the library. Identify 3 to 5 student learning outcomes. So my hope would be that they would be able to explain that brushing your teeth helps you to avoid cavities and is important, that they could demonstrate on a large model how to correctly brush teeth, have a rudimentary understanding of what fiction and nonfiction books are, as well as where they can be found in the library, and then also that the practical tasks of learning about brushing your teeth would help them at home so that they could take initiative with attempting a personal skill independently and helping them feel confident in taking charge of their personal care. I've compiled a list of 14 books appropriate to this grade level and subject. They are very different. Some of these are funny picture books, like The Tooth Book by Dr. Seuss. The Teeth That Look for a New Mouth is a very funny picture book. Sugarbug Doug is a funny picture book. Some of these books are picture books about going to the dentist. So Just Going to the Dentist by Mercer is a classic book about a dentist visit. The Berenstain Bears Visit the Dentist is also just a story about children going to the dentist, in this case, children of bears. And then there are also books on this list that are nonfiction books and informational books. My favorite that I like on this list would be Brushing Teeth. It's great for children, has lots of bright pictures, and they're not illustrated. They're photographs of children at the dentist brushing their teeth, talking about children participating in this topic. So these books are just very different, would be found in different places in the library, and would give the children an idea of how they can use these different types of books as a resource. Describe an activity that would be completed by students during the lesson related to the literacy being taught. There wouldn't be any technology required for this lesson. Once the children are settled in the library, because these are squirmy kindergartners, that sometimes takes a few minutes, we'll read the picture book about brushing your teeth. The one that I thought would be a good introduction would be The Teeth That Look for a New Mouth, because it is very silly and funny. Children love it. And then we'd follow up by allowing the children to share whatever they wanted. If they want to tell me a sentence about going to the dentist, or what color their toothbrush is, or whatever personal connection they have to this topic. I always welcome them to share, even if it's silly things. I try to keep it brief for each child so they can all have a chance to share if they want to do so. Then we'll read an informational book. Again, I was looking at the Brushing Teeth book, and we'll talk about the difference between a fiction book and a nonfiction book. And so we'll compare and contrast. This book was silly, and this book shows real pictures. This book is illustrated. This book tells what really happens. This is a story. And we can use terms that the kindergartners would understand, but help them start getting a broader understanding of the different types of resources in the library. We will then walk around the library and we'll say, well, here are where the picture books can be found. Here are fiction, here is nonfiction, so that they will start understanding the layout of the library. And then finally, the children will have the chance to check out one of the dental books that's been pulled out for them. Explain how the librarian and classroom teacher will collaborate to present the lesson. Will the lesson be in the school library or the classroom? So as I was going through this, my thought was that it would be part of a larger dental unit going on in the classroom, and so that this would just be an extra activity in a special class, but used to facilitate looking around the library, looking at different books. So my thoughts were in the classroom, they would have a large smiling face of teeth on, taped to the wall or door, and a giant toothbrush that they can take turns brushing with. They'll discuss going to the dentist, what dentists are and what they do, how often to brush your teeth. And they will also read some of the books that I had pulled on this topic in the classroom. How will the lesson be assessed, and will the librarian or the classroom teacher do the assessment? This is a kindergarten class, so it's not like they're going to take a test on this. They could take turns brushing the large picture of teeth on the wall, make sure they brush the different areas of the mouth and use the right motions to do so. Then we can also play a game in the library where I read a book, and it could be a dental book, but the following week, if they're on another unit, it could be something related to what they're learning that week. But then the children can decide after I'm done reading the book, is this book a fiction book or a nonfiction book? And we can discuss why we think it is what it is. And then the teacher and the librarian will communicate together regarding which children are grasping the concepts and which need more instruction and who needs a little bit more help. Thank you.